Resident Alien, Season 2, Episode 7. It's the penultimate episode, which means either everything's going to happen and we get our conclusion, or we set up the finale in a big way. And we set up the finale. This was a fun episode. It was really weirdly paced, I felt. Especially in terms of some of like the editing. It's because there were certain moments where I'm like, this doesn't look very good. But this whole show has been mixed to me, especially this season. I think season 1 was really well done. It was really cool. The tension was there. I don't think the tension's there for this one. We keep having the looming threat that the world's going to end. You know, Harry's people are going to invade. And maybe that's what we're going to see in the finale, have like a big thing at the end. But as it stands, I don't know. This season just hasn't really hit the mark for me. But we are the penultimate episode. Asta and Harry are still in New York. They are still trying to figure out, like, why did Goliath call them there? And we see that the woman who's with Goliath shows Asta his dead body. So he, like, fossilized himself after he died. We do kind of, like, get a flashback at the beginning to see that he landed, like, 33 years earlier, I do believe they say. And then he finds this man who just, like, stumbles upon him, takes his identity, meets this woman, and the rest is history. Kind of the story of Harry and Asta. It's a little bit different because actually their relationship isn't as sexual as the one of Goliath and his lady, which I think is kind of interesting. They don't... Okay, I'll just bear the lead here. The big plot is that Goliath laid an egg. And I kind of like that they don't show us how Goliath got impregnated with an egg from this woman. I would have liked to seen it, though, just because I think that could be fun. Something that I guess he like took her genetics and like morphed it. That could have been a fun thing to see. Like, yeah, because it's like a woman can't really like plant the seed to make the crop grow. So I think that would be fun to see. Not this kind of show though. Which, okay, that's fine. Interesting. Really interesting. And I'm like, that's cool. I guess that's a fun thing to do. The reason that they're there is because Goliath wants Harry to look after this child. That's kind of fun. I mean, I don't know what else you do with it. It did give me the vibe of like, oh, let's protect the egg. Okay, that could be a fun storyline, I guess. Harry had like an earlier episode where he's dealing with his daughter, and now he's actually going to deal with a different type of kid. So I'm like, okay, that's a fun storyline. It like didn't really like capture my interest. I'm like, okay, yeah, we can go this way, and I think it could be fun. It's very television. It's not even the only pregnancy scare in this episode because Kate might be pregnant too. I'm like, oh wow. Weird. I don't know if, like, that's a weird choice to throw in here. Like, the stuff with, like, Darcy and Kate this episode, I thought it was very fascinating. They tried to, like, set up the tension between the two of them. Like, oh, who's Ben gonna choose? He's obviously got tensions with Darcy, but he's married to Kate. And it's like, that's kind of fun. They don't really go that route. It's just more like they're at the gym to get there together, and you think they're gonna, like, you know, compete to see who's running faster, but they get along well. And then you see that Kate's not feeling well, and suddenly she's like, maybe I'm pregnant again, and that's it. Which I guess, that's better than them, I guess, competing for Ben. Which, it could be a fun story, but I guess it's not necessary, because he's going to choose Kate. That's his wife. He's just a guy who loves her, and he's not going to do anything else about that. So the fact that I didn't feel, like, obligated to do that story, that's kind of cool. I do like that. You know, in the morning when Kate comes home early, she does have to, you know, kind of, like, get back into her house so Darcy can sneak out. And I'm like, that's fun too. That's a cute moment. But again, this is like the third episode where Max isn't in it. Why? He's on like a lot of the posters for the promotional material. Why isn't Max in the episode? Did the kid actor just like not have a contract for every episode? It's weird. Because he's an integral part of the show. I really think he is like one of the key to balancing out like the tensions and the storylines, because he kind of has his you know, his hand in every single plot line. And the fact that he's not here, you really feel like the drastic change and shift with all the other characters. Because we're in New York with Asta and Harry. They got an egg. The evil lady shows up. The gangsters are the people that Harry, like the real Harry was working for with Sam. They were there too. They all die this episode. Like, the evil woman kills the guys that are after Harry and Asta right away. Like, we don't even see the resolution of that storyline. I guess that could come back with the stuff with Sam, but it's like, that wasn't really anything. And then at the end of the episode, Harry kills the woman after them. We literally see her head get decapitated by a train, and I'm like, that's cool. Why did we need that, though? Like, she didn't do anything this whole series, so her death didn't add anything. And maybe that's another part of like this season that just felt off. It's like these characters, like the ones like the government agents who are working with Linda Hamilton, they play such a small role in this season that you don't feel the weight of their appearance in any episode. So the fact that she's dead doesn't really do anything to me. I'm like, okay, wrap that up. Not that it was doing anything for the story anyways. Very weird choice. I don't think it was necessary. I don't think this character was a really important kill, because she didn't do anything. Now it's like all the actual villains are gone. There's no one really after Harry. Any interpretation of Harry, there's no one after him now. So there's really like no tension in that regard either. Just a very weird choice. And I will say there's like one scene when we first see the egg and Goliath's woman is kind of like trying to like catch it and fight it while Harry's like throwing off the bad one. It's really weirdly edited and it doesn't look very good, which I get it. It's sci-fi. It's not the most expensive show out there, but I think you could have given it another pass before you put it out there, because it really wasn't great. But that's fine. You know, sometimes you have to be comfortable just letting a show be a show without having any super high expectations for things. So I don't hate that. There just wasn't anything happening in this episode. It's kind of amazing because it's the penultimate episode. Like, the sheriff and deputy, Mike kind of has like this idea that, oh, I need to reinvestigate the case of Sam. Because clearly there was something there that I don't know, and I got to figure out some more stuff, because at a yard sale he sees Sam's wife and she's trying to get rid of some stuff, but she feels like sentimental about it. And clearly she didn't kill him, so now he kind of wants to go further into the investigation. You see, Liv has kind of like a small story where she wants to like plant like the UFO sightings online, and she does. And then it's like, well, people don't believe it. And then, okay, that's fine. Like, that's a good arc for her to have this season. I do think it'll culminate into something in the last episode. I'm not sure what it's going to culminate into, though, just because there wasn't really much going on. So we'll have to wait and see. Like, this was, for a penultimate episode, and I think this is more important than your finale, you didn't really do much. We got the egg. That's it. Kate might be pregnant. We got that. The doctor's gone again. We've gone through 3 different doctors in the span of 20, not even 20 episodes, which is funny. So Ben's bright idea, hey, it's Harry's birthday coming up. We'll throw a surprise party, and I'll soften the blow by saying, can you become the town doctor again? And that culminates into what I think is the best part of the finale here, is the last 10 seconds, pretty much, where they come back to Patience. Harry's got the egg in a bag. Him and Asta and her dad are walking into his house. There's a surprise party. The egg cracks. That's tension for your finale. That's like pretty much all the tension for the finale. And I'm like, that's cool. I can get behind that. If your finale, because I don't think it's got renewed yet, if your final episode is all of your main characters, minus Max for some reason, in like a house dealing with finding out that one of their own is an alien, I support that. I think that's a really cool idea for a finale. And I just like, that's cool. Why wasn't more of that like this? Because this was just all over the place. The Darcy and Kate stuff I did enjoy, just because, again, it could have gone a different way completely, and I'm kind of glad they didn't. But I just think it was kind of forced, the rest of everything. It just kind of went to a bunch of really uninspired places, and that's kind of been like the theme for this show for a bit. Not really doing anything over the top creatively, and just kind of like telling the story that without actually being inspiring. I get it. It happens. Not everything's going to be the best out there. But this is your second season. This is the more important season, and I kind of wish it just had a little bit more going for it. I really do. It was nice to see Harry kill that woman, because there's like the violence in his eyes was great. Again, Alan Tudyk is fantastic in this show, and I still think Corey Reynolds is one of the better actors on this program, because he's just delivering a solid performance through and through at every single moment. I think that's very cool. I am liking a lot of the show. I just think, compared to the first season and a lot of other shows that are out right now, there's just something lacking in what makes this season special. But it's kind of cool. So we do see, okay, who killed Sam? Well, we got a list of names. Those could be the people we saw in New York that were after Harry. Maybe that's just him trying to out those people. Maybe we'll see that, Mike and Liv are going to get into like an actual really intense fight at some point with their guns, and he's going to have to like do something like he did with his partner, but he's going to save Liv this time. That could be cool to see. But the end of the world's still coming, supposedly, and now Harry's got a new kid to take care of, so tension, I guess? I don't know. There's some parts about this where the tension's clearly there, the tension is building. There's other parts of this where it is just a silly little comedy without much going on for it. I can't fault it for that because I don't know if I could do better with this story, but besides the weird editing, not my favorite episode. And I guess including the weird editing, it's not my favorite episode. Just, I don't know. I kind of hope it gets a season 3 just because I'd like to see this find its footing again. But we got an egg. It's about to hatch. It's a birthday coming up. Everything's coming up Harry Vanderspiegel, or it's falling down. So there you go. Resident Alien Season 2, Episode 7. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.